is Dr. Beverly Craig, and we're here at the Biblical Wealth Seminar in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona at the Phoenician Resort. And today we're talking about setting your thoughts for wealth. Our pastor, our first speaker, Dr. Alfred Craig, he was talking about setting our thoughts for wealth. And it's coming from Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 18. It says, "But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth us the power to get wealth." And so we're here today, and we're talking about getting that wealth, getting a mindset about the wealth. It says, he was saying that we must focus our thoughts on wealth. And not only he said that wealth is a gift from God, and we have to find out on how we can receive that wealth. And today I have a young lady here. Her name is Gloria Chaney, and she is here from our first conference that we had at the Ritz-Carlton in Phoenix last month, and she's going to show us, and she's going to tell us some of the things that she had learned from the last conference that we had, and not only last month but also this month, and how God has already is giving her that power to get well. So welcome, Gloria, and we just want you to share with us what God has done in your life and what he's getting ready to do. I know you're full of it, so just give us what thus says God.
God is good, and God is faithful to those who believe. And I am so honored to be one to come out and say that Dr. Alfred Craig is a man of faith. And he has a mandate for the people of God who will dare to believe that he can hear from God, and that we can dare to believe that God is speaking to his servants in this hour. And that's what happened to me. I learned that the vessels that stand before us are people speaking on behalf of our master. And if we would dare to take what we hear and apply it, too often we go to churches and conferences and we hear things and we don't put that thing to work. But God strategically placed me to first answer the call that I thought I couldn't afford, and to get my eyes and my minds off of what was going on and around my life, to say it's time to get out, and that's an open door for me. And the man of God said, "This is the way, walk ye in it." That's what I felt was being said to me as I came to this biblical wealth. That not only was I not losing, and that I was not destined to failure, but to prosperity and wealth as a gift from God, but that as a child of God, it was my inheritance, it was my right, and it was time for us to begin to benefit by the things that we hear so often when men of God stand before us. And God spoke to me while the man of God was speaking, saying, "This is for my people now." Too often we're putting the word somewhere out there, somewhere in front of us, somewhere far off in the distance. I'm going to experience that while I stay in poverty now, and while I wait for some other miracle. But the miracle is we are already who God says we are. We can do what God says we can do, and we can do it now if we would dare to believe it. And that's what the man of God, he was so transparent to stand before us and say where he had missed it, and where he had allowed his emotions and his natural reality to affect his ability to walk in his supernatural power. And I'm here to say I was in the same condition. So when he stood up as a man of God saying, if I would have made the turn God said, we might not have needed this. If we would have lifted up that rod that God said we had to open the sea. He said I was supposed to hold back the water for the people of God. I was supposed to speak what God was saying to me, but I had a gag on my mouth because I was walking in my natural self. Well, as soon as I took what the man of God said and went and put it somewhere, I got on a conference line. God said, just do what I say. Just do what I say. So I just did what he said. And in 1 week, I made a phone call. I got off of my normal prayer on the phone line with a couple of people. I went and looked for what God told me to do to set up a conference line for people to pray, because it was time for the people of God to pray. I did one email transaction. It was like what Pastor Craig said this morning. Because he went forward to do it, somebody paid for these meetings. Because I went forward to do it, God set up a conference line for prayer that's 24 hours. It's totally free. 250 people at a time can pray, and they can do it anytime, all day, any day, with whatever people you want to choose. And that's what God did, because I dared to believe him and walked out and stepped out with the man of God said. I'm excited.
Well, wonderful, Gloria. I just thank God for you. Not only that, Gloria, she's an MTI student, and you see that what MTI can do for you also. So we want to thank Ms. Gloria Chaney for the great things that God is doing in her life. And she said something. This is the year of the open door. All you got to do is just walk through that door, and you can see what God can do. If God can do it for Gloria, if God can do it for me, I know he can do it for you. So walk through that open door, and we'll see you. God bless.